All right, art students, here we are with another superhero classic pose. So let's get started with this one. There's no rambling. So the first thing you want to do when you're coming to draw your position, as I get another sheet of paper, is you have to see it in your mind. You see it in your mind what you want, and then when you draw it out, you have to draw it the way you want someone else to see it. And of course, again, we always use the torso. We're going to go over that again and again and again, because that's the engine that drives your car. Okay, so torso, if you want to see it from the front, if you want to see your position from the front, you're going to do this cross with the oval, and then this. If you want to see it from the side, you're still going to do this cross, but it's going to be around. Opposite side, same thing. If you want to see it from the top, you're going to see this thing is going to come more of a V, center line. If you want to see it looking up, you won't really see, depending on how much you turn it, you won't really see too much of this. It could be way on that top edge going around center line, and that would be the same thing if you're turning it to the side. You just have your line to the side and this to the top, and you really won't see too much of the head will go kind of behind the chest, which this will be the chest right here. And if you want to go see it from the top, more from the top, this just comes in more, and you will see the shape of the back. Depends on how much you're trying to see the torso. And as I say, everything else follows suit. So this would be the engine of the train. Once you get that down, everything else follows. It follows, because if you know where to position the head, then the rest kind of follow. It's going to follow. It's just all going to go that way, as I say. It's going to go that way. Yeah, so, all right. I'm going to do that because I'm doing this in everyone, because this might be your first time seeing this, and you might not understand. So it's just a quick refresher of how to do it. And if you see this, I'll leave a link to the last video where I may go over a little more detail about doing the torso. But there are other torso videos that I've done, and I will actually leave a link for that as well. All right, so let's get on with this hero pose. All right, as I say, first thing you want to do is start out with your torso, which is going to be the oval. You don't want it too big, because you want to imagine your legs coming off of this and not going off the page, and your head is only going to be so big. So you really don't need a lot of room at the top of your page if you are doing the whole full body. Now, if you're just going to do the head and the chest, maybe down to the waist, then this would be the size of my head, and then I could do my chest, and my waist kind of stops right there. So, but we're doing the full body, doing the torso, oval, and center line. Of course, I'm going to turn this guy to the side. I should have brought him over a little bit, because I want his hand to come out, but that's all right. We'll keep it like this. It won't be too much. And then I bring this down more, because this is going to go right down into the crotch. So, of course, again, I'm going to just maybe tilt this a little bit. Just give him more of an overhead kind of shot. And yeah. So this is going to be the tunnel right here, and your chest comes just above that. You can make that chest all the way across, and then from this point to this point, where these two lines connect on this circle, you want to make another half circle just about the same amount of roundness as that, and that tells you that that person is turned. And then your delts are going to come off right off of this line here, and just kind of like follow underneath. Whereas this one, because it's turned, and it goes behind because the body is turned. So once you get this established, the rest is simple. You might say, oh, that's the hard part. No, the hard part is figuring out how you want to put the arms and the legs. So at this point, you want to do a V coming up to the circle, and then you want to go up more. You want to go up because your head, this is your neck, so your head is going to be here somewhere, and then you just put the size of the head that you really want, and then the center line for the direction that you want to put the head. If you want to put the head looking this way, there's your center line. If you want to put it that way, same thing you do in the torso. So these pencils are really good, because these are not non-photocopy pencils. So if you copy this in black and white, it won't show up. But these erasers they just, wow, these erasers go in like half a day. Depends on how much you erase though. So let's do this. I'm gonna put one hand kind of down and back. Well, let's bring his waist down. Bring his waist down. And you don't want to bring it down from here. You want to bring it out a little bit more because you're going to have his obliques, aka the love handles. And you can adjust all this, later, but in the beginning, you want to get it there and kind of get it right. Not get it right, get it the size that you need it. Because if you change it, that means it's not right in the first place. Get it close to what you need. So we're going to go down here because body's not going to be twisting. We're going to do the upside down house. We're going to have more over here than we'd have over here because it is tilted. And I'll give that just a little tuck under. Now from here to here, you want to kind of like back off and make sure it's not too long, because sometimes I will do my torso just a little too long, my oval for my torso a little too long. But once you get it this much, you should be able to see if it's too long or not, and then just make adjustments. That's why you don't want to try to start doing detail right off the bat. Like some people want to just throw those muscles in there, and then when they look at it and it's not right, they get frustrated because they spent 2 hours trying to get those abs just right when you should not have done that yet. So what am I doing here? You have your oval, you have your, as I call this, a tuna can. It's just a square, it's just a rectangle right here. But here and here you have your love handles. Looking for a pin. Looking for a pin. So you have this. It comes up here, and where this connects here, you're going to have that love handle on both sides. And that's why your stomach comes out and then comes in like that. And then under there you have your hips. And this muscle goes all the way down. They might not come over so much, but they do come in so that you have and I usually do that, this and this coming in because your love handles are coming in there. Obliques. Now you can wow your friends just by saying, oh, your obliques are a little wide. So you won't see too much over here, but you will see a little bit over there. So I'm going to bring this hand out. I'm going to do it first, and then I'm going to show you how I did it. Make it go up. Make it go up. This is where I have to start twisting my paper. Without making that hand too big. I could probably actually bring that hand more to the front. So what I have just done was do a oval and a triangle. So if I did pencil, and I don't do red, I can't see because of the glare from my overhead light. So I'm doing this triangle, not triangle, yeah, a round triangle first. Here's my bicep, tricep, round triangle, and then I'm just cutting it off where I want my wrist. If I don't want it straight out, if I want it more pointing to the front, I can even put this more in front of the bicep and then cut the wrist off even more, but we'll see. We will see, we will see. Because this is more of a dramatic, and you have to get this little piece right, or this angle right, or it just won't do. And then this comes in, and then your chest, and that part I didn't mention, this part, where this goes, this is where your chest starts to curve up. And then this could come back a little bit more. And it all depends on how much you turn the figure. And I'm going to put this hand more down to the side. Red is so bright. Now, right now, as I mentioned in another video, if you see something wrong and you can't figure it out, just stop. Don't keep trying and erase, and then your paper just gets so ate up that you get frustrated and you give up. That's why a lot of artists give up, because they figure they can do it right the first time, but it's not that easy. It's just practice, just like I said, playing ball. You know, if you play ball or piano or whatever, you can't get on a piano and just start banging out music the first time. It takes time, and how much time do you want to put in it is the question. You really want to play music, or you just playing around, or you want to be serious? You'll put as much time in it as you can. You'll put, stop playing video games. You put the video games down, or maybe not go out with your friends because you want to actually get some practice in. So yeah, it just depends on, how bad you want it. That's the same with drawing. And that's why I say do your shapes first. Now, what was messed up was this shoulder, these shoulders. That's what was messed up, or what is messed up. Neck and the shoulder comes down here. This one's going to come up a little higher because you're raising that hand up, and this is going to maybe be up a little higher. Because when you raise your arms up, it's going to scrunch up this part of your shoulder, these parts of your shoulders, which are actually your traps, your trapezius muscles. Learning as we draw. So, all right. So let me put the feet on him. I'm going to have him kind of like floating. And usually I'll do the outside foot first and then the inside, because by doing this one first, you can determine where you want to place the other foot. So let's get this out. And I always do this little center muscle here, and that tells me how long this needs to be, and that's just a me thing, I guess. That's how I determine how long the thigh is going to be. And then I'll do that circle for that knee, and then I'll pretty much put the shape of the other half of the leg, which I don't want it. It's kind of like this, and I don't want that. I want it more straight, roundish. Straight, roundish? What? I'm sorry. Another thing you can do, which is easy, which sometimes I forget, is just go all the way like this. Just take one line like that, bring the other one, and then bring it in for the knee, and then like that. So you keep this one straight, and then that kind of helps out with the figure. So this one I'm going to put about right here, I guess. So what I can do is this, curve like there, bring this in like that. So this one I like. This one's out too far, so I'm going to bring this one in a little bit more. And that's one reason why you just kind of like stick with your basic shapes, because if I did all the muscles, then I would be a little perturbed about having to change all of that. So you start out with the shapes first. You start out with that angle first. So since this guy, like I say, is floating, he's not balancing on anything. Something like that. And I might even bring this leg in more, because you're not going to balance. You're not balancing on your legs. So balancing your weight on your legs. So if you jump up, your legs are naturally going to come like closer. They're not going to stay out unless you deliberately, throw your legs out. So he's going to be floating basically, like, and his foot is going to be like down. One is down, the other is down, kind of like that. But these legs are way too long, so I'm just getting the angle word just slipped out of my mouth. The position right. So you're going to see just a little buttocks right there because he is turned, and I'm going to right here. Then that knee is going to be in front of me. It's going to come around and down into the calf. So it's going to stop right about there. And I'm going to bring this in more to give it more of a good curve around. I could have brought the chest back a little bit. And I think I still may. And bring his head back, because he's a hero, so you want to give him that hero I'm better than you pose. I'm better than you pose. Round it off a little bit. See, this taking a lot off. I would have to change that center line, which is fine. Bring it back more. Bring this back more. That's cool. So I'll have to bring that head over. The whole thing is when you draw, you want to get a good balance. You want to get a good flow, a good feel to your drawing. Inside ankle is higher than the outside ankle, so I usually just do a slash line like that. Bring the foot down. So this is going to be higher. And there are no new positions that are, I don't want to say no new positions that are available. Number one, how long has comic books been out? How many times have people drawn action poses and so forth? So Jim Lee said in an interview, they asked him, what's the hardest part about doing comics? And he said, trying to find a different position, because, you know, a punch is a punch and a kick is a kick. The only way you can change that around is change the angle of it. Show an angle that nobody has really seen before, and then you have a little bit of a difference. But, you know, as I say, a punch is a punch. You put one arm out, you pull the other arm back, and, you know, it's a punch. So, you know, if you one arm here, one arm there, you know, that's a punch. Or you can put the one hand here, and, you know, it's going to be a punch no matter how you turn it. So the only way to do is to try to, you know, change that angle of, you know, the way you punch, or maybe flare the arm, you know, some kind of different way. You got like an overhead crazy looking punch. And that's why I say the hardest part is not this. The hardest part is figuring out how you want to get your arms and legs so that this is balanced. This is kind of stable. It just twists a little bit, you know, from side to side or tilt forward. But those arms and legs, you have to get them just right to make your position look cool, or to be, you know, right. So yeah, as I said, this is the reason why I had to do the legs a couple times. The torso is fine, other than me tilting it back just to give it a little more action to it. Now I can put this hand more in front, or I can put this hand more to the side, but I'm going to keep it like this just because. So by doing that, I just pull this, I just made this go back a little bit more. Put where's the one at this one? See, this is kind of straight up and down, so if I pull it back just a little bit more, it gives more arch to the drawing. And I can put the head up, the arm. Well, if I just did this way like I did. It just gives it more arch, and then you can put that other hand like that. And that's what I was going for with this, but I ended up drawing it straight. I can erase it, like I said, and do it again, but no, it's a learning lesson. Whenever I draw slow, I'm stiff. Like this came out a lot more arched because I'm drawing fast, but when I draw slow for lessons, it usually tends to be more stiffer. And this is how I would do if I'm not filming something. This is exactly, how I would end up drawing something, not with a pen, but then I would go back and say, okay, my shoulder here, give it a little more neck, the head, but I'd get this rough drawing done in a few seconds, and then I'd go back and then fix it up. But since I am drawing for you guys, I'm drawing a little slow. And you can see the difference between the arch in this guy and the arch in that guy. And that's going to say I can still give it a little bit more by fixing this a little bit, bringing that in a little bit. But you don't want to take it in too much because you still want to have, you want to have that body pretty right. So, and I'm going to have to change this shoulder versus you looking down at it. It's going to be straight on. That collarbone, not that shoulder, that collarbone. I think that's what threw me off. I drew that at a down angle, and I drew everything else at a straight on angle. So I can put this arm straight down. Let's try. Let's see. It kind of has that like feel of power to it. Well, like right there, it looks like it's just broken. Where you don't have to flex this other arm. You just, if he's going to shoot his beam or whatever, he just comes up there and just throws his hands up. The camera just throws his hands up and fires. He doesn't, just without any effort. When you flex the other hand, that shows a little bit of effort. I got to get that power and I'll shoot my beam. But if you just relax and just, nice sound effect, Brian. Let's see what I can do with that. And as I said, that's the hard part, is getting the arms and legs right so that you can have that desired effect. I can bring it in and bring it out. No, just straight down, maybe. I'm thinking, and this is the part where the video starts to get long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna speed this up at this particular point and figure out if I wanna put that arm like this, or if I wanna put this arm out. And this is another reason why I use 2 colors. 3 if you use regular lead. I did a video on that about taking one position, and I think there's like 30 or 40 different positions I ended up turning it into by just shifting the arms and legs. I kept the torso the same way. Just shifted the arms, the legs, and it made a bunch of different poses from that one position. I said I was going to fast forward, but I didn't. For instance, I can do this, and I'll do this really light because I want to erase it. I can do this and put his leg up and his foot like that. Like that. You should be able to see that. Hopefully you should be able to see that. It's kind of light. But if they're by just changing the arms and legs, I leave that torso as is. Changing the arms and legs, you have multiple positions that you can do, which is the hard part. That's why I always say it's hard for me to just come up with a position on the fly just like that. So, okay, knee, and there's going to be that muscle here, curve up. Other muscle is going to be in here. That knee is going to be here. The calf, you can make those calves a little firmer. Same here, can bring the calves up a little firmer. The more muscular you are, the more rounder your muscles are going to be. The more thicker and rounder. So now I'm just kind of fishing for corrections. Okay, I don't know which arm to use realistically. They can both be used, but let's just try something. One more thing, one more time. I like that. That's more dramatic. Than holding it down. Holding it down to me just shows more power because less strain. But since it's dramatic comics, we're going to go with that. Again, the hard part. Arms and legs, how will you place them? You can make multiple positions as I just showed you. Just kind of got screwed up because my pencil is no longer sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to come down here. This was going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll come out in the wash when I ink it. But that hand is a little small, so let's make that a little bigger. And you have to have a thick wrist. A muscular character has nice thick wrists. Wrists. Thick wrists, and I'm going to tilt that hand in because when you make a fist, if you twist that fist in a little bit more, it makes your character look a little more powerful. Keep your pencils sharp. When they start to go blunt like this, it's kind of hard to get your detail in. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to tilt down and in like that, and it's going to touch this part of the palm like that. Not having it tilted because a lot of times I'll end up tilting like that, and it doesn't need. It's supposed to be straight across. Unless the body's tilted. And you should put that curve like that. Don't make it straight across. Put that little curve in there. And then you can suck these in or bring these in like this. And then the rest can come out. That gives a little more definition to the stomach by having these top ones sucked in. Curve here, curve there, and then there's going to be an indentation. There's going to be that black line that goes around here, and I usually do just a little dip here because that bone here. You don't have to, but that's just a me thing. And then sometimes I'll do this little curve around here, and then you have that dark line or that dark indentation line right there. You have half a triangle, diamond, not triangle, whole diamond, half a diamond, right here, and of course you have your obliques right there. Coming up, you have your serratus, I believe it is. Those are the ribs. And then you have some other ribs that come around through here, which I never really draw because it just, I don't know, just makes my character look hungry. And then a little more hip. Coming around, the man junk, leaving room for the man junk. That's looking a little long. Maybe, maybe not. So my leg is going to come up like this, and then this. but you're going to cover that up with shorts anyway, or the uniform costume. So at this point, I am going to just cut it and work on some detail, and then come back when I have the final product. I keep saying that, but I usually don't end up because I just keep drawing. If you can't do the oval for the head, do a rectangle, square the chin off, and then do your, keep it straight, Brian, keep it straight. Then do your jaw. Keep that neck on line with that chin, on line with that side of the face, and then you can bring that shoulder up more. And that is pretty much it. As I say, when I draw slow, it gets a little stiff, but it's all about teaching you guys. I thought you was gonna fast forward. I thought so too, but it didn't happen. Besides, I'm almost finished. And give him a little bit of calf on that side here. And there you have the day's position. Put that face in there. He's looking, you got him looking straight. I was gonna have him looking sideways. I'll just change the face, that's all. So I'm gonna cut it here and you'll see the final position, the final, which is gonna be like in a second. Let's go. All right, so here we are with the copy, and I'm going to put a little, what do people use that word, little? You go with your little friends, go have your little party, you know. So I'm going to put a costume on this guy, and I should have done it all in one color, because I could have put the costume on a separate color like blue or red, and then I would be able to tell the costume from the actual drawing. So I'm going to make this head just a little bit bigger. And one thing that gives a lot of people a problem is hair. To put hair on a character, you don't want to, where's my little piece at? You don't want to do some kind of crazy, funky manga hair, like, you know, just, oh, I like this, it looks good, oh, because you're going to have to draw that hair in every scene. So you have to draw the hair from the front, from the side, from the back, from the top. So if you just throw something that looks good, or that you might think looks good, you're going to have to know what that thing looks like in every scene. If you have like 25 spikes, you have to have all 25 spikes in every scene that you do with that guy's face. So find you a realistic type of haircut or hairstyles like Goku. You know, if I had it, you know, he's got, you know, so many spikes, and then, you know, that's it. But you're going to have to draw it for, like I said, from the top, from the back, from the side. What is that going to look like? So that's just one thing to think about when doing this. So I was kind of like laying down for a second, and I said, let me just do this suit. I just thought of some designs for the suit. And it's good if you have a bit of a story in mind for a character. It makes it a little better. So I'm just going to add some like design elements to his suit. Actually, not that much. And then go from there. So I'm seeing like an alien type guy. And this is going to come all the way down into the shorts. A one-piece suit. It's going to come all the way down, and it's going to cut across. I'm going to put a cape on this guy, wherever the belt may be. So it's going to cut right here, and maybe cut right there, so you won't see this. Like that. And just for the sake of it, I can do something like this. Like it's an invisible belt, kind of like a, you know, yeah, off corner kind of belt. And I'm going to do, I just said I'm going to do a cape on this guy. So long sleeves. And so I was thinking about hair, and I said, you know, I was going to put a helmet on him. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put like a symbol on his head, like, you know, he's bald and he's got like a symbol. So he comes from another world. And I was going to do this here and here. This is why I should have used one color. So it's kind of like a half symbol cut out of the other symbol with, and it's bad when you have too many muscles because it just kind of takes away from it. So you won't see this. And then maybe some kind of something that goes through it. Stopping here and here. And that could be the same, like on his head, just that little symbol. He could be a robot now. You never know. Or maybe that's just his race. They all have this when they're born, or they have it tattooed on their head when they become heroes or at a certain age. And I'll kind of like figure it out as I'm inking. Or what part you will see, what part you won't see. So you'll see this, and this will be separate, and that'll be separate. So this goes down to the crotch. We have boots. You gotta have boots on. So you're gonna have sleeves right here. Nothing else, just that, and his boots will be. Am I seeing long boots on this guy? Or am I seeing short boots on this guy? I'm seeing long boots because I did short boots with the other two cats, other two drawings. So yeah. And if you wanted to do something like clothes, and I'm going to do a clothes thing. I'm doing a clothes thing for the kids. You would put wherever something bends at, you put like just some wrinkles. And then people will know that like that's cloth. And then that tells people cloth. For the longest time, they never did that in comics. And then I think somebody started it with Batman. They put just a few wrinkles like around here. And that showed them that even though it was tight, you didn't see that, put wrinkles around here and here. And that showed them even though the suit was tight, it was made of cloth. So that boots, no, let's give them a little bit of heels on the boots, just a little bit. Like a one piece kind of heel. And you really won't see it there. Get this off. And then I'll give him a quick cape. His cape is going to be connected right here on this collarbone piece. Which, like when you pull curtains together, they bunch up. So it's going to bunch up. But this one's going to go down and around. Since this arm is going this way, come on, Brian, get this camera straight. Get your camera right. Since this arm is going this way, I'm going to pull the cape back that way. And then this is going to go over. Some will go back, some will go over. And then you have those wrinkles. Like this would go here and wrinkle here, depending on the size of your cape. If you have like a long, not long and flowing, but really, really long, anytime it comes together, you're going to have more wrinkles. You're going to have more folds, not wrinkles. So I could do just something like this. And then he has just a basic, not a lot of material cape. Like that, minus this. And then it's just, your basic cape that won't really get it. It should be like that. Won't get in the way. Or I could put just a lot of, you know, wrinkles, a lot of folds. Sometimes it looks good. Other times, you know, it doesn't. Because that's a lot of material, which is fine. It depends on your character. So I don't know. I'll probably go with more of the wrinkle cape. I like that. The face needs something. It needs something more on the face, because if he's an alien or a robot or something, versus the hair, a little more tattoos on him. Because the head was just too plain. Okay, so other than that, I think that's going to be it for this one, and I will ink this thing. Might add shadow, but I don't really add a lot of shadows because I don't want people to say, oh, that's how I want to add shadow to mine, but your light source determines where your shadow is. And besides, I want to color these one day. Get some good color. Kind of remind me of Vision almost. Almost. Not too much. So anyway, let me go ahead and ink this, and then it's going to be fast motion ink. So let's run to the fast motion part. No, check that. I'm not going to fast motion because it'll just be twisting. I'll just come back when I finish inking. All right, so back again with the finished product. Here is your classic hero pose. And here is the classic hero pose with the costume on. As you can see, I got a little lazy with the cape. I didn't want to put all the wrinkles in because I didn't feel like drawing all the wrinkles. But with something like this, you can put like a planet behind him, or you can put some buildings behind him, remembering that he is in a flying position. So whatever you put should be a little lower or further back, lower if you're doing the ground. But if you're doing a planet, the planet could be here or wherever. But so that's going to be it for this video. Please hit the notification so that you'll know when I put up videos. And as always, give me a thumbs up if you like it, and a comment if you like. So I think that's going to be it for this one. And I'm going to continue to work on this little classic hero pose series and get them twisted and turned a little bit more. I think the next one will be a girl, and I'm not going to worry about the being monetized because, you know, YouTube, they like to trip when you start drawing women without clothes. So I'll try to put clothes on it as I go. All right, so that's going to be it for this. I feel the need to ramble, so I'm just going to shut it down, and I'll see you guys in the next video.